Welcome to the era of the great forgetting. In the year 2026, a silent weapon has been deployed against the human mind, and you are feeling its effects right now, in this very second. It is a neural parasite, not a creature of flesh and blood from an old horror film, but a sophisticated biodigital interference that has settled over your consciousness like a thick, toxic, and suffocating fog. I am Dr. Julian Thorne, and today we are going to perform a radical, uncompromising dissection of the modern condition known globally as brain fog. This is not a vague feeling of tiredness that a simple nap can fix, it is the deliberate biological suppression of your sovereign potential. Your brain, the most complex and beautiful machine in the known universe, is currently being sabotaged from the inside out, atom by atom, neuron by neuron, and most of you are too sedated to notice the theft of your own brilliance. Observe the current state of your focus. It has become brittle, fractured, and dangerously shallow. You reach for a complex thought, and it slips through your fingers like cold smoke. You attempt to engage in deep, meaningful work, and within mere seconds, an invisible, magnetic hand pulls your attention toward a meaningless digital stimulus, a flickering notification, or a void of endless scrolling. This is not a personal failure of will. It is a systemic victory for those who profit from your distraction. The fog that inhabits your mind is the physical byproduct of chronic neuro-inflammation, a low-grade fire that is burning through the delicate neural tissues of your prefrontal cortex. While you are told by mainstream sources that this is a normal part of aging or a natural consequence of modern stress, the truth is far more sinister. Your cognitive decline is being meticulously engineered through the very environment you occupy, from the flickering frequencies of your overhead lighting to the invisible data streams piercing your skull every millisecond of every day. The blood-brain barrier, that sacred biological shield designed to protect your neural architecture from the chaos of the outside world, is under constant, heavy assault. Modern electromagnetic frequencies, chemical additives masquerading as food, and artificial light spectra are punching jagged holes in this vital defense. Once this barrier is breached, metabolic debris and external toxins flood your internal neural landscape like toxic waste pouring into a pristine lake. Your microglia, the immune sentinels of your brain, enter a state of chronic, frantic activation. They are no longer maintaining the delicate garden of your thoughts, they are burning it to the ground in a desperate, misguided attempt to fight off invisible invaders that never stop coming. This is the true physiological origin of the fog. It is the acrid smoke rising from a brutal battlefield within your own skull. The very cells meant to protect your genius are now the ones suffocating it, blinded by the overwhelming toxic load of the 21st century. Deep within your cells, the mitochondria, your biological power plants, are gasping for air in a vacuum of artificial noise. The neural parasite feeds on your cellular energy like a vampire. When your brain's electrical voltage drops below a certain critical threshold, the speed of neural transmission slows to a crawl. Your thoughts become sluggish, your reaction time increases, and your ability to synthesize complex, life-changing information simply vanishes. You are being forced into a low-power mode, a state of biological servitude where you have just enough energy to consume, to labor, and to react, but never enough to create, to dream, or to rebel. Imagine a world-class supercomputer trying to run its most advanced programs on a dying, corroded battery. That is the tragic state of the modern human brain under the influence of the global frequency grid. You have been disconnected from your primordial power source, and you are fading into the gray. We must discuss the invisible strings of the puppet master, the omnipresent electromagnetic grid that surrounds you. In 2026, your brain is no longer functioning as a private organ, it is functioning as an antenna in a chaotic, turbulent sea of interference. These frequencies do not just transmit harmless data for your devices, they actively disrupt the delicate electrical rhythm of your heart and the sacred coherence of your brainwaves. When your neural oscillations are forced into a state of perpetual high beta wave activity by external stressors, your body stays trapped in a constant, exhausting fight or flight mode. There is no room for the alpha, theta, or delta waves required for deep healing, profound creativity, and spiritual insight. The parasite thrives in the high beta state, it is where anxiety lives, and anxiety is the ultimate fuel for modern consumption. You are being vibrated into a state of submission, your nervous system tuned by outside forces to a frequency of perpetual fear, fragmentation, and frantic distraction. This digital noise acts as a carrier wave for the neural parasite, allowing it to fragment your very identity. You are no longer a singular, focused, and powerful entity, you have been shattered into a collection of reactive impulses scattered across a dozen different digital platforms. Every notification ping, every infinite scroll, every burst of blue light is a microdose of biological poison that calcifies your pineal gland and numbs the sharp edge of your intuition. They have turned your focus into the most valuable commodity on earth, and the brain fog is the anesthesia that keeps you from noticing the robbery in progress. Your internal compass has been demagnetized by the very tools you were told would liberate you. You are wandering in a digital wilderness, led by algorithms that know your biological weaknesses better than you know your own soul's strengths. The parasite doesn't just eat your time, it devours your ability to perceive the true nature of reality itself. But the most devastating strike against your humanity occurs while you sleep, or rather, while you attempt to find rest in an electrified world. The glymphatic system is your brain's internal waste management network, a sophisticated plumbing system that opens up only during deep sleep to flush out the toxic proteins and metabolic waste accumulated throughout your waking hours. However, the neuroparasite has disrupted your circadian rhythms so profoundly through artificial blue light and nocturnal frequencies that most humans in 2026 never reach the stage of deep, restorative sleep required for this essential cleaning process. The result is a slow, agonizing drowning of the mind. You wake up every morning with yesterday's toxic trash still floating in your skull, layering upon itself day after day, year after year. Your brain is literally suffocating in its own metabolic sewage, until the fog becomes your permanent residence and clarity becomes a distant, fading memory. Imagine never taking out the garbage in your own home for a decade. Within days, the air becomes unbreathable. Within weeks, the house is uninhabitable. This is the tragic reality of the modern brain. This mental tar builds up, coating your synapses and blocking the vital flow of neurotransmitters like serotonin and dopamine. This is why you feel heavy. This is why the world has lost its color and feels gray. You are literally trying to think through a thick layer of biological filth that has not been washed away in years. The parasite thrives in this clutter, hiding in the debris of your unwashed thoughts and whispering to you that this exhaustion is normal, that this apathy is just a part of getting older, that this lack of joy is just who you are now. But I am here to tell you that it is a profound lie. You are a biological masterpiece being treated like a landfill by a system that fears your clarity. To clear the fog and banish the parasite, you must become a biological insurgent. You must reclaim your internal environment with a ferocity that matches the intensity of the attack. It begins with the radical, uncompromising elimination of the stimuli that feed the parasite. You must shield your nervous system from the frequency assault, you must purge the chemical disruptors from your diet with surgical precision, and most importantly, you must prioritize the sacred, non-negotiable act of glymphatic cleansing. Deep, dark, and undisturbed sleep is not a luxury for the elite, it is your primary weapon of resistance against the fog. You must reignite your cellular voltage through the ancient practice of grounding, through structured hydration that mimics the water of your ancestors, and through the total rejection of the artificial light prison that surrounds you. You must treat your attention as your most valuable resource in existence, guarding it with the same lethal intensity a king guards his crown during a coup. As the fog finally thins, you will experience a sensation that most of the modern world has entirely forgotten: true clarity. A mind that is sharp, focused, and unshakable is the greatest threat to the systems of control in 2026. When you can see the world for what it truly is, without the distortion of the parasite, their power over you vanishes instantly. You are the architect of your own biology, the master of your neural fate. Do not let them turn the garden of your mind into a wasteland of static and gray fog. Reclaim your focus, reignite your internal light, and step into the blinding clarity of your true power. The era of the great forgetting is over for you. The era of the sovereign mind begins this very moment. We will strip away every layer of interference until only the raw, powerful, and terrifying truth of your existence remains. I am Dr. Julian Thorne, and the operation to liberate your mind has only just begun. Stand tall, breathe deep, and look through the mist. Your throne is waiting, and your vision is finally clear.